Hello, welcome back to another video. It is Monday. I look very tired because I've been up since early this morning. Stan and Dan are off to school. I'm wheeling Bryce to go and meet my mum. It's their first day back doing Bobo and Mama time, which means it's my first day back working. And I thought it would be fun to take you along for the ride. So what the thing I was doing was, before the summer holidays, which is why I'm wearing my Nike windbreaker and leggings, running shoes, is that I would meet Mum at Highbury Fields with Boaz, and then have I been looking in the wrong place in the no and I would drop them and then go for a run. I haven't had a run in the entire summer holidays. I've been for a swim, done a lot of swimming, but no running. So the plan is to get back into the running. It is a bit difficult because it's also my first day back to work, and I'm like, there's so much that I could be getting done, but I'm forcing myself to start with a run, and I think that that's going to be a really good thing, and I don't think it's going to make me run out of time. I think it's going to make me more productive. So bit of a run, listen to a podcast as I run around, and then I'll come back and get on with kind of planning the next month really, but also more importantly, well, I don't know, more importantly, but I'm going to get out. So I don't know if you know, I can fill you in more on the plan later, but I'm basically going to start mark making and designing a new collection. That's the plan for September. So I am going to be getting out, getting down into storage, getting out pastels and paints and all my stuff, and starting thinking about colour palettes and inspirations and what I want this collection to be like. I've also got some work with a brand that I'll be working on at the same time, so that's cool, and I'll fill you in more on that as I can as we go. But yeah, that's the plan for today. So it's my first day back to work. I hope you enjoy, and I'll speak to you soon.
Activity started.
Before this BBC podcast kicks off, I'd like to tell you about some others you might enjoy.
5k done. I'm really pleased with that. I didn't know if I'd be able to do 5k because it's been such a long time. But yes, I could. After 3k, it was an uphill bit, and I was like, oh, I just need to stop. I don't know if I can do 5k. And I just walked for a little bit, really short bit, and I was just like, I'm fine. I'm just going to walk to that bin and I'm going to start again. And actually, in some ways, it's harder to start again once you've stopped. So I'm pleased with that, and I managed to keep going for 5k. The plan is next Monday to do 5.5, Monday after that to do 6, and keep building up by half a kilometre, which is what I was doing before, to get up to 10k. But then I never actually got to 10k because of the summer holidays and my birthday, blah blah blah. So plan is to build back up to be able to do 10k, because I've only run a 10k once before, and that was several years ago, before kids, and because of like a Nike 10k around Vicky Park that was really fun that I did with friends. But yeah, I'd like to be able to run 10k again. So that's the plan. Going home, can have a shower and some breakfast and crack on with work. I'm clean, I'm dressed, I've got my tea, I've got my water, I've got my breakfast, made my jobs list, and so I'm at my desk and I'm going to crack on. Okay, so I've done quite a lot of planning in terms of what I'm going to do each week throughout September, what I'm going to be working on. The way the structure of my week works is that I have Mondays and Tuesdays where Mum's with Boaz. Stan's at school every day, but he doesn't. I've just had a bit of dark chocolate from the fridge. It was delicious. He doesn't do after school clubs or anything. That's kind of a bridge too far for him still. Like he's at max capacity once it's like 3:10 and I'm picking him up and he's just ready to come home and chill at home and play with his own toys and be in his own space. So my working day might become extended in the future, that he's there till more like 4:15, but as it is at the moment, I'm the one who goes to collect him, so I go and get him at that time, which is quite soon actually, and then bring him home. But then Mum and Boaz come home at a similar time, so she it's much easier now in a way for her to sort of supervise the play of the two of them, whereas I feel like when Boaz was younger and Stan wasn't feeling as confident at school yet, and he would get home and like have to kind of spill out his feelings, it would be more difficult for them to play together or play separately in the same space or the next room, like happily, so that Mum could just oversee that and I could keep working. But now it does feel like that's much more possible, although because it's my first day back, it's Boaz's first day back, in terms of being with Mum on a Monday. So it might be that when I get home with Stan, like Boaz really needs me, but the plan will always be on Mondays and Tuesdays for me to keep working till at least 5 when Mum's here as much as I can. And then I find if I've got those 2 days, there are windows of time, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that I can take to get stuff done. If Boaz has a nap, then awesome, he doesn't always nap, but if he has a nap, then I can get more done. Sometimes there are things I can even get done just as he's like pootling around playing, but I can't design in that context really. Dan gets home from work most days at 5, so some days it's possible for me to grab an hour then. I try not to work at the weekends, but that's kind of like the structure of the time that I have to work. At the moment, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to design a collection from the space that I've got. The last time I was designing in a bigger way, I was doing it from my studio upstairs at Smug, and then since then I've added to that collection, but using the same colour palette, the same forms and shapes, and sort of extending it. I've done some little projects that have felt a bit separate or a bit kind of less connected, I don't know, more new mark making basically, which have been like Christmas card collections and little things like that, but that's quite small and manageable. Whereas I want to design whatever this like new iteration, this new language, whatever Lizzie for Smug is going to look like now in 2024, which will be very connected to the way I've always designed, but it will be like a step forward. Hopefully that's what I would like it to be. And so I kind of want to be able to be a bit messy. I want to have my pastels and my paints and so I'm not yet sure how that's going to work, because if you've been around here a while, you'll have seen this space that I'm in now, which is our living room and playroom. And I have a little desk that's like an old dressing table, and I look out over the park, which is stunning, but it's a very small little narrow space. It wouldn't work at the moment for me to like hire a space in a studio or anything like that, so it will be interesting to see, but this is the plan. I'm going to see what I can make work, and yeah, it's really exciting. So I know that really high on my list of things that I want to bring out are new notebooks that are thicker and bound differently, and potentially 1 or 2 of those might even have some stuff printed on the inside in terms of maybe it being a dateless diary or some prompts for a gratitude journal, that kind of thing. So I'm working towards that. I think I'd like to do 2 to 4 new notebooks that are that more kind of substantial notebook. And I also really want coasters. I feel like I've got a coaster collection, which is fine, that I've collected over the years, but I'd really like some coasters with beautiful kind of patterns and marks and colours on them that are my style and my look. I'd really like to produce those, and I just feel like I'd use them all the time. So yeah, there's definitely a real thing of like, what would I be using? What do I want? And so those sorts of like journals and notebooks and coasters. Also, I'd like to do some new tea towels. I don't know yet if I'm going to do like actual fabric that can be made into cushions and pouches and things. I would definitely like to do that next year, but I don't think that I'll necessarily fit that into this year. There'll be new cards, a couple of new wrapping papers, and then I am doing a collab, which is really exciting. I'm not going to tell you much about yet because it's barely even started. We've just sort of agreed on the terms of what we're going to do, but I'm going to get to design some new stuff that somebody else is going to be responsible for actually making, and they work in quite a different way. It's not going to be printed textiles. So that's going to be really interesting. That gives me an opportunity to try something quite new, without the investment of finding a factory who can make that for me, because they already can do all of that in-house. So I think that's really exciting. They get a lot from working from me, and I'm going to get a lot from working from them. So I will love sharing more about that as we go. Yeah, and I'm still going to want to be like, part of the scheduling I've just been doing is what YouTube videos I'm going to be filming over the next few weeks, what podcast episodes. I went quiet on the podcast over the summer, so I've got lots of new things coming out there. Like, I'm wanting to share on the podcast a little bit more about my understanding of realizing that I'm autistic. That's been really interesting, so I want to dive into that more there. I've also quite a niche video to film here on YouTube, which will be coming up in the next few weeks, that I don't know if it will be relevant to you or not, but it's about school refusal. So we are in such a good place now in terms of school with Stan, but when we were going through school refusal and I was searching on the internet, it just felt like there was nothing there for me, and I would love to make a video about our experience of that and what's worked and what's really helped us and how we're in a different place. Like, just having something out there that can like build the hope around the fact that it is gonna be okay, and it can change and it can work in the end, and it doesn't just have to be force your kid to go to school miserable in floods of tears, angry and upset and feeling completely isolated from you, or you have to homeschool. I don't want to do either of those things. So that's coming too. So I'll carry on with those sorts of things, but I'm not doing any coaching for a little bit because I just want to really like dive into being a designer, being an artist. So yeah, I am now gonna get a few things ready to go and collect Stan from school. And then once he's back, the plan is I'm gonna go downstairs and start pulling out my materials and seeing what I've got, what I'm gonna work with. And then I might even do a little shopping trip tomorrow to go and get some more stuff, and start like putting together like my materials for the first phase of the new collection. Is very much mark making. Like, it's about colour and texture and shape and form and layering and just trying to get a little bit of an idea. And it can be that the first like several days is just complete crap and you're like, I hate this is awful. But something starts coming through and then it's really exciting. So yeah, I'm going to pull together the materials that I want to start working with, see if I want to go and buy some more stuff. I'm filming tomorrow as well. I've got a facial in Shoreditch tomorrow, and I will be doing I hope tomorrow will pretty much just be all of the time that I'm home, because it's a bit of a small window, will be mark making. So it's exciting. Yeah, so that's where we're at. I will be filming tomorrow as well. I'll probably film more of today. Like when I get back, I'll go down into storage and get the stuff out, show you what I've got, start thinking about what I want to grab. And yeah, as I say, I'll just bring you along for the ride today and tomorrow. And hopefully it's an interesting little look into what life looks like working from home with kids. Also only 2 days a week. And also just the beginnings of what a new collection kind of starts as. Yeah, so thanks for being here and for watching. And yeah, I'll see you in a minute. It won't be a minute because I've got to go and get Stan from school, but then it'll be a minute and I'll grab the stuff and I'll show you my crates. Like some of it is just downstairs in storage since clearing out Smug. So Some of it might just need to be binned, so it'll be nice to get a palette out and test the paints and see what I want to work with and that everything's in good nick, because I imagine I'm going to need to do a bit of shopping, but that's also really fun. So yes, I'll show you what I've got. Okay, so I've got the goods. It's a bit more random than I was expecting it to be. I think there's a lot of random bits in these boxes, which rings true because it did feel a bit rushed at the end, kind of getting everything out for the tenants. So I'm going to go through them. There's a bit of paint in there, but I don't know if there's loads. But it looks like it's going to be fun to go through, so I'll go through what we've got. Okay, let me have a little look. Oh, there's loads of crochet stuff. This is from when we used to have crochet workshops with Jan from Buenos Aires. That's so cool. That's lovely wool. Oh, I should start learning to crochet. She creates the most amazing books. I will show you. And the toys, you'll have seen her toys. I used to sell them at Smug, but also the boys have got lots of them. They're really, really gorgeous. And look, this is what I was doing with, this is punch, whatever it's called, that I was learning to do with Lucy Rowan, who is also taught workshops at Smug. That's cute to see. Maybe I should get back into that as well. Looks like I've got the gear for it. I've been thinking it'd be nice to like try and, I don't know when I'm gonna make time for this stuff, but it'd be nice for some of it would be nice to have some hobbies that are creative, that aren't things I'm gonna sell. And crochet and this punch needle thing could both be really nice ideas for that. Right, what paint have we got in here, and what's this? Oh, calligraphy. Maybe I need to take up calligraphy. Quill London. I don't know if they still exist. Maybe they do. But this is calligraphy stuff from Quill. So I could, I don't know, did they do a workshop at Smug, or did I do an event at theirs? I can't remember. But I've got that. Here's the punch needly thing that I learned to use with Lucy. Okay. Some white thread, and then now we've got some paint and a anti-moth thing, which I assume no longer works. Okay, let me show you what we've got. I've got a nice clean palette, so that's good. There's never any harm in having one of those. All of the pastels have just fallen out, which is a bit annoying. I'll try and put them back in. Faber-Castell pastels. If these are still going strong, then that's fantastic, because these are really, really, really nice pastels. Maybe I'll do a show you what's in the box, and then I'll do a draw some lines on some paper and see what looks good, see what looks nice, check everything's still working. Oh, I'm pleased I've got these though, because I'm really in the mood for pastels for some reason. Oh, lovely one from Manolia. Look at that. It's a Christmas card from Manolia. That's another video. I could just sit looking through all of that stuff forever. This is all like bits from working out the first collection. Oh, this is from my goddaughter and niece from Mimi. So yeah, there's different like random Smug stuff in here. Like keepsakey things, random like testing of the wrapping paper, bits from our Thornback and Peel collection, things from the ozone work I did. So there's just like a lot of all of that sort of thing. Oh, this was the stuff from making the screen for the Smug tote bags that I hand screened. Ruby Taylor stuff that she did. That workshop was so cool. That was one of the best things we ever did, I think. It wasn't even a workshop, it was like an event. This was the Sam Wingate tea towel. We don't have one of those. That's great. I'm going to put that straight in the drawer. This is the front of Smug. That's so cool to have that. I'm really pleased we've got that. Ooh, this is a brand new one. Maybe I was gifted this for some reason. That's really nice. There's some great colours in there and that's never been used. Amazing. Also more oil pastels. Brilliant, because I've been... Oh, okay, that's great. Fantastic. Okay. So I'm going to need more paints in specific colours, but pastels I am sorted. Oh, loads of ink pens. That's why I've got all the inks. Actually, like, these are like brush pens that you fill with ink and water and then you like actually draw with them. That's cool. Oh, these are good as well. These are really interesting. Like, they're silicone brushes for oil. I don't actually have any. Maybe you could use acrylic, but I would assume oil paints would be better. These are soft pastels. I've got so many pastels. Oh my goodness, these colours are amazing. Okay, I'm definitely going to have to be working with some pastels. I thought they were going to be pencils. Amazing. I've got some charcoal. I feel that way inclined. These are spare leads, pink leads, but I'm not quite sure if I've got anything they go into. I'll have to have a look. It's got a scalpel and it's like some random Sharpies and stuff. But this would hold a lead. Amazing. Hopefully that will fit in there. Should do, because you can just tighten them. That is a nice pencil for drawing. This is fun. Random like kids paintbrushes, which Boaz will love, so that's quite handy. Then just a load of coloured paper. That again, that would be nice for the boys making stuff. Some good quality, like much finer paintbrushes. How cool. Okay. Oh, there's a 3. That must have been Smug's 3rd birthday, because I don't think it would have been Stan's 3rd birthday, because Stan wasn't 3 until after we packed all of this up. Stan was 2 when I closed Smug. Cool. Well, that can be for Boaz's 3rd birthday next year. Oh, I've been wondering where this was. This is really nice writing paper that's got the guinea pig embossed in it. That's cool. Okay, I'm going to go through this stuff more properly off camera, because I don't think this is so interesting for you that it is for me. Amazing. Okay, I will catch you in a minute. So yeah, it's actually a really good stash. I'm really pleased with that. So the plan is tomorrow morning I've got a facial, and then when I get back I'll get out some paper and see what's still looking good in case any of it needs to be binned, but then start thinking about what sort of colours are exciting me and textures, and then I'll kind of get into inspiration and all that jazz. But I'll definitely share with you some of the colours and different materials that are looking good. So I'll see you tomorrow. There you are. It is now Tuesday. My legs are really aching from the run, which is a good thing. I've just been to Dishoom for an amazing egg naan roll, and now I'm going to pop in to Cowshed for my facial. Oh, that's nice. Hello, it's a lot later. I look a bit crazed because of the facial. It was amazing, but there's lots of oil and stuff in my hair now. And she did loads of, what's it called, lymphatic drainage to my face, which is good, but I was quite red and pummeled. But yes, so after the facial, as you will have seen, I was using the pastels and some paints and stuff to kind of work on colours and work through. Sorry for all of the noise. The boys are home playing on the sofa next door. Daniel's cooking dinner. Basically, what I'm coming on to say is I was playing with colours, and then I went to Cassart, and I was planning on only vlogging today and yesterday. But actually, I'd love to show you the sun's going down already. It's like a bit after 6:30, but it already just is so much darker. So what I'm going to do is show you the new stuff that I got from Cassart tomorrow, and then I'll finish the vlog off after that. But you may as well see where I'm getting to in my like colour picking and stuff. So I will speak to you again tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to attempt to show you the stuff that I picked up at Cassart. But Iris is playing around me, so let's see what happens. I got this acrylic. I thought it looked good value, and just a really good like base colour. Like it says peach pink, but as you can see, it's really like quite a creamy pale, almost like latte frothy. So there's a tiny tone of peachy pink to it, but it's really neutral, and I thought that could be quite a good like background colour for me to build up from. I got some pencils because I felt like I wanted some pencils, and these are in some nice colours. I felt like pastels and some paints were good, but I didn't. Yeah, I just wanted some like more pencils for, again, layering. Like I'm feeling at the moment like I like to do quite mixed media-y type stuff for the notebooks that they're actually like abstract originals that are the wraparound cover for the whole notebook, rather than a pattern, it being like an abstract original that covers the whole notebook, is my current thought. So I got these thinking that would be useful to like work in to what I'd be doing with the paint and the pastel. And then I got some more pastels. Oh, and this. I felt like I couldn't, you may have seen I was trying to like build up the right kind of like ochre-y mustardy yellow, and I didn't feel like I had the right thing, so I thought I'd have a play with that, see if that was any good, because at this stage so much of it is just working out like what is the colour palette that I want to go for. And then these, I got more of these. So these are the three that I opened that was like the rusty colour, the pinky colour, and then the like quite neon-y bright orangey red. I got gold because you saw I was working with that gold paint. I quite like the idea of some metallic highlights potentially. This is like a lemony yellow. This comes up more blue. It's very light, but this comes up slightly more blue than it does on camera. So that's a really, really pretty grey blue colour. Then I've got this cobalt blue, and then this like deeper putty pink, because again I felt like the pinks that I was using were all too pink, and I wanted something that was like quite a skin tony type colour. So yeah, that's the stuff that I picked up, and I will continue to be playing and mark making and seeing where I get to. I might let you see my next time lapse of mark making, and then I'll have a little chat to say goodbye, and that'll be the end of the video. Until I share some more when I've got a bit further on with actually designing the collection. Mama. And just doing a bit of a colour study, I found that with my last collection there was a lot of pink as the background colour. And it was interesting because as I developed the collection and wanted to add more patterns that would still work in the same colour palette, I just kept finding that it's getting a bit repetitive, because the pale pinks were always the ones that were looking as the best as the colour background. So I'm just having a play, focusing on what sorts of colours could feature as like the base for colours to be built up on, essentially that aren't pink. So that's what I'm working on. at the moment. Yeah, so that's been really interesting. Just trying to get a sense of how these different crayons and pencils would land, like onto this yellow. Ooh, I like how blue that comes out. But it's things like I feel like that pink is too pink, which is the one that I had before. So I'm pleased to have updated that. How does this land on here? It's quite wishy-washy. This is coming out more purpley than I want it to, so I don't feel like I found the right super pale blue yet. And I kind of feel like, not quite sure about these pencils. I sort of want them to be more waxy than they are. I'm loving these pastels, but the pencils could be doing more. A bit too, I don't know actually, maybe it will be nice for layering that they're that bit sharper and less blendable. Anyway, it's exciting to be getting to this stage of choosing the colours. But yeah, it's interesting because that's the one that I had before. I do really like this. I feel like this is more what I wanted. As opposed to, can you see? But I still like that terracotta-y vibe. Anyway, I'm rambling now, but I'm really enjoying this and I'm getting there. And as soon as you whack that pop of that in, it's just great, isn't it? I love it. I love it. It's so good. So good. So orangey red. It's really nice. Oh, I like that on the yellow more than I thought that I would. Anyway, this has been really helpful. Thank you for getting me to do it. I've been putting it off, and knowing that I wanted to share it with you and make this video has really helped me just crack on. So I will share more once I'm there. But yeah, this bit of the process is very much like doing lots of colour studies, working all that stuff out, and then I'll be looking more at the actual mark makings and the forms and how I want this collection to look. So yeah, I'll speak to you again soon. Thank you for watching. Please do like the video if you liked it, and do subscribe if you want more of this sort of stuff. I also do lots of just like chatty vlogs and yeah, lots of interesting stuff coming up video wise. Actually, I'm going to be sharing more aspects of my life, so I will speak with you very soon.